Hey guys, this is the guide for Yogg-Saron. I'm going to apologize in advance for this one. This is a very long guide. However, I really want to make sure that I try to go over everything because this is also a very complicated fight. There's a lot going on, lots of mechanics to look at and deal with, so if you're looking for something specific in this video, feel free to skip through. If you have never done this fight before, then I'm going to try to cover everything that you'll need. You're going to have to activate the keepers that you want to join you in the battle here and send them into Yogg's room to help you before you go in. Activating Freya will give you Resilience in Nature. This increases all damage done by 10% and healing received from all sources by 20%. She's also going to have a Sanity Wall, and standing in these will help you regenerate your sanity throughout the fight if it's needed. Damage done while you're standing in the sanity wells is reduced by 50%, so you really don't want to stay in there longer than you need to regen. Hodier is going to bring Fortitude of Frost. This increases damage done by 10% and reduces damage taken by 20%. Hodier's Protective Gaze allows Hodier to save a raid member that takes fatal damage by encasing them in a block of ice until it's cancelled. This can only happen every so often, and Hodier must rest afterwards. So if you see this happen early in the fight, don't expect it again for a bit. I'm not sure what the exact cooldown is on that. Mimiron will bring Speed of Invention. This increases damage done by 10% and increases movement speed by 20%. Destabilization Matrix reduces the ad's attack speed by 100% and their casting speed by 300% for 30 seconds. And lastly, Thorum, who is probably the most important here, and usually the one that everybody will leave up when they're attempting Yogg One Light, has Fury of the Storm, which increases all damage done by 10% and increases your health pool by 20%. Titanic Storm is the big thing here. This is going to periodically kill weakened immortal creatures. This is the only way to kill immortal guardians in phase 2, which is the big thing here and why everybody usually keeps this guy in the fight when they have to choose one. So for phase 1, we're going to need to kill 8 guardians of Yogg-Saron near Sara so that she gets hit by 8 Shadow Novas to transition into phase 2. This means that your tank is going to have to pull them around the ominous clouds and maneuver them in the center without spawning extra mobs here, which we'll talk about in a second. Sara is going to give you some buffs here during this first phase, but her buffs come with a little bit of salt. Sara's Fervor is going to increase a raid member's damage by 20%, but also increase their damage taken by 100%. This is going to last 15 seconds. You really want to make sure if you get this buff that you're not standing anywhere near a Guardian of Yogg when they blow up, because it will probably kill you. Sara's Blessing heals a raid member for 27 to 33k, but it causes 60k damage over 20 seconds after that. Sara's Anger inflicts 12k shadow damage every 3 seconds, but increases physical damage done by 12k. This lasts 12 seconds. The Guardians of Yogg that you're going to be killing here will do a Shadow Nova on death, which we already talked about. That's going to have a 10-yard range, so your tank has to pull them near Sara for her to take damage from them when they die. If they are too far away, they will not count. These guys are also going to do a Dark Volley. This is a Shadow Volley, dealing damage and reducing the effectiveness of any healing by 25% for 10 seconds. This needs to be interrupted. And the big thing here that makes this first phase so annoying are the ominous clouds. These are where the Guardians of Yogg-Saron are going to periodically spawn from. If any of your raiders get too close to these and touch them, they will spawn extra Guardians. You really don't want this to happen because they already spawn faster and faster as the fight goes on, and it is very easy to get overwhelmed. So just let your tanks pull them in. If your melee are having trouble, melee can stay out for this entire phase and just let casters handle it. It's way more important that you don't touch these clouds than it is for your melee to get a little bit of damage in here if they can't avoid the clouds. Once you've killed all of the required guardians on Sara, you may need to clean up a little bit as you transition into phase 2. 1 or 2 up's okay, any more than that and your raid's going to be taking a lot of damage, so make sure your healers are ready. Once you enter phase 2, you're going to want to split your raid into 2 groups. One's going to be a main room team that stays upstairs and deals with Tentacles, and the other is going to be a portal group team. Everyone should be coming into phase 2 with 100% sanity. Sanity is very, very important here, especially if you guys plan on going for any of the hard modes and you start taking out those keepers that are helping you out. Because once you lose Freya, you can no longer regen sanity in any way during the fight. So again, sanity is very important here. Everybody will start with 100% sanity. If your sanity reaches 0, you will be permanently mind controlled. We're going to talk about the tentacle team first, that's going to be in the main room, and the abilities that'll be going out up there. Psychosis deals 7.5k shadow damage and reduces sanity by 12%. Brain Link will link 2 players in the raid together, dealing 3k damage and removing 2% sanity every 1 second if they are further than 20 yards apart. So if you get linked with somebody, make sure you run over to your new wiener buddy friend. That way you don't waste your sanity finishing whatever you're doing. If you are a player assigned to a portal and you get Brain Link, you can still click your portal and it'll automatically break the link. Malady of the Mind deals 5k shadow damage and is a 4-second fear. After the fear, it's going to try to jump to another player within 10 yards, but if there is no player within 10 yards, it won't jump to anybody and it'll just go away. This can get really annoying. It also reduces sanity by 3%, so you really don't want it jumping to random people in your raid. If you see somebody with this fear, just try to get away from them, because again, if nobody's in 10 yards, it won't jump. There's also going to be a death ray going out during this phase. This is a slow-moving green beam dealing 20k damage per second, and it is 100% avoidable. It is very slow-moving. You should never really get hit by this for any reason. The 3 types of tentacles that you're going to be dealing with here are Crusher, Corruptor, and Constrictor tentacles. The Crusher tentacles are going to be your range focus. These guys have diminished power. They're going to weaken the raid and reduce damage done by 20%, and this is going to stack up to 4 times. This is a channeled ability, and a melee attack can interrupt this. The Crusher tentacles will be the range focus. They can and will one-shot your players in melee, so melee want to stay out. They have a diminished power debuff. This is going to weaken enemies and reduce their damage by 20%, stacking up to 4 times, and this is a channeled ability. A melee attack will interrupt this, but we just said that we're not sending melee in on these guys, so you can use a Paladin Judgment, so no one actually has to be in melee range. They have a Crush ability. This is going to crush enemies in the path of the tentacle's attack, dealing 15.2 to 16.8k physical damage. This is more of an AoE crush, so if one person gets too close and there are other players in the path, it will still do that damage to those players. So again, I will stress one more time how important it is to not have melee near these things. The last ability the Crushers are going to have is Focused Anger. It's going to enrage the caster when hit by attacks and spells, increasing attack speed and damage dealt, and this also stacks. So these Crusher tentacles are just powerhouses of damage. So one more time, melee, stay out. Corruptor tentacles, these are going to be the melee focus when you guys are out. These are stunnable, and these just do a lot of things that can be cleansed. They have a poison, a disease, a dispel, and a decurse. So just make sure our healers are on top of this. Cleansing these early will drastically reduce the damage going out in phase 2. They have a draining poison, which is 21k nature damage and 21k mana drain over 18 seconds. This is obviously the poison cleanse, so make sure that's off as soon as possible. Black Plague infects an enemy with the plague, causing them to periodically retch uncontrollably. This is a cleansed disease. Apathy reduces the attack, casting, and movement speeds of enemies targeted by 60% and lasts 20 seconds. This is a dispel. And Curse of Doom. Dooms the target, dealing 20k damage after 12 seconds. This is an easy decurse to avoid all that damage going out. The last tentacle we're going to deal with here is a Constrictor tentacle. These have a squeeze ability. They're going to grab a nearby player and squeeze the life out of them, dealing 6k damage per second until killed. I believe you can ice block and bubble this, but I personally would try to save that for later in the fight if you can. Just try to break your friends out of this as soon as possible. Okay, our other part of phase 2 is the Brain Squad. There are going to be 10 portals that spawn. You're going to want to assign players to go in only if they have high sanity. These players will spawn in a circular room where you'll need to kill influence tentacles that will be disguised as neutral mobs to open the brain of Yogg-Saron. Influence tentacles may take many forms. They have a Grim Reprisal ability. All attacks against them cause 60% of the damage taken to the attacker as well. So you either want to have a healer that goes down with you or somebody that can off heal just in case, because you really don't want to lose anybody to something like that. There will be laughing skulls in the portals. These laughing skulls will have a lunatic gaze, dealing 1.7k damage and reducing sanity by 2% per second for as long as you're facing the laughing skull. Just try to face away from these at all times. There's no point in losing sanity like that. Once all of the influence tentacles are down, the brain of Yogg-Saron will open in the doorway that you came from when you spawned. Your goal is going to be to DPS him down to 30% as quickly as you can so that you can enter phase 3. The problem is, as soon as the portals spawn upstairs, he starts casting Induced Madness. This is a 60-second cast, and when it finishes, it will drive all nearby players insane, reducing sanity by 100%. You want to get out before this cast goes off or you will be permanently mind controlled. So you guys are probably not going to be one-phasing anything anytime soon. I would aim for 2 or 3 as a goal, just so that you don't have a super long phase 2 with chances for people to die. So don't take any chances, get out early before Induced Madness goes off. The next round of portals should be spawning 20 to 30 seconds after you come out. So if you're not doing hard mode, you can go to a beam, get your sanity back up, and then be ready to go back in. Once the brain gets to 30%, you're going to enter phase 3. This is going to be the boss phase, and you'll also be dealing with Immortal Guardians here. Yogg-Saron is going to have the lunatic gaze that the laughing skulls previously had. However, his is going to be a little beefier. It's going to deal 6k damage and reduce sanity by 4% per second for as long as you're facing the boss. So make sure you face away whenever he casts this. He's also going to cast Shadow Beacon on one of the Immortal Guardians. The target is going to become a beacon for Yogg's Empowering Shadows. Empowering Shadows is going to empower friendly units within 20 yards of the target, causing them to regenerate 225k health over 20 seconds. Ideally, if you're not doing Yogg-Saron, Thorum is probably the keeper that you have up, or at least whatever version you're doing, Thorum is probably up. So you shouldn't have too much of an issue with this, but if you do, you're just going to pull whichever mob has Shadow Beacon away from the other mobs so that they're not healing as much. Immortal Guardians are going to have an empowered buff. This is going to increase the damage these do when their health is high. So you want to try to get these low as soon as you can. These are summoned every 10 seconds, and the only way to kill them is to bring them down to 1% health and let Thorum finish them with his hammer if you're choosing to use his assistance. Yogg-Saron hard mode has no way to kill these. For hard mode only, Yogg is going to do a deafening roar, dealing 7.6 to 8.4k physical damage and silencing enemies for 4 seconds. You can aura mastery this when possible. What we did for phase 3 is we just all stacked on one side of the boss here. That way everybody was in range for healing, all of the Immortal Guardians were coming to the same area. If we did have to pull one out, an off tank would just grab it and pull it away. A safe bet here is to have your melee focus the Immortal Guardians while your casters are focusing Yogg so that you have damage on both. There was a point where we had so much damage on the Guardians that Yogg was just taking forever to die. So if your melee have enough damage to do that, I think that would help because they wouldn't have to worry about the lunatic gazes if they're faced away from the boss while killing them anyway, which will preserve their sanity for the rest of the fight and keep everybody alive. This was a very early kill on the PTR, so I'm going to go over to the in-raid boss explanation. Hopefully it includes everything. If not, hopefully this overview took care of anything that I didn't cover in-raid. Alright, now we got Yogg. Alright, so we are going to quickly go over this, but there's really not a whole lot to do until you actually see it. This first phase, we want to stay out of those clouds. What I'm probably going to do, what we did in the 10-man, we just had everybody stay out, all the casters stayed out, and then I would drag it into the middle with melee. However, if devs can get one and you guys are killing it outside and I'm in the middle, I can just taunt it off of him at the end and run it in. That's another really good way to do it. So it really just depends on our vapor positioning. If it's outside of the middle, we'll just stop damage when it gets low and I will pull it in. The reason for that is we need to kill 8 of them in the middle and hit her with Shadow Novas before we can go into phase 2. When we get into phase 2, we'll have sanity. I believe we all start out with 100 sanity. Ranged are going to DPS the Crusher Tentacles. Melee are going to DPS the Corruptor Tentacles. And the constrictor tentacles, those ones have somebody in them and we need to break them out. So somebody will get grabbed by those and then we just break them out. I think she flies up in the air for Death Ray, and then she's going to shoot 3 to 6 beams. They're little green beams. You just avoid them. They're super easy to avoid. It's just this giant laser on the ground. If you get targeted by Brain Link, it links you with another raider. Stop what you're doing and run towards the other raider so that you guys are together. Once you are yellow, you're close enough, and you guys can just move around together as a whole until that falls off. Once it falls off, you're good. I believe in 25, 10 portals spawn. Should be 10, so we're going to assign 2 groups to that. It's probably going to be 1 melee group, 1 range group. I don't really know what's better for it yet. We'll probably send a healer in too, just because. So we'll do groups 2 and 4 going in the portals. Every portal can only be clicked once, so if you see somebody running towards one, go to another one. You kill everything that's down there, and then the doors will open for the brain. When you guys are down there, you want to look away from the laughing skulls and avoid the lunatic gaze, because you're gonna lose sanity when you're down there. Before the portals come out, I don't know if there's a timer for that. If there is, I'll try to call it out. You guys need to try to make sure your sanity's full, or at least like up over 60, 70 stacks when you're going down there, because if you go insane, we have to kill you. I think you're mind controlled and we just have to nuke you. So watch the timer, make sure you don't get stuck down there. If you do get stuck down there, you're mind controlled, we have to kill you. There's no way to get you out of it. For phase 3, that whole phase is literally just sending our 10 people down, dealing with tentacles out here while they kill the brain down there. So it's all up to our portal group when we transition into phase 3. Once the brain is down to 30%, that's when we enter the last phase and we actually start attacking the boss. There will still be some ads that come out. We'll lust there. Yogg will still cast the lunatic gaze, so every time that happens, we're literally just going to face an outer wall of the room. So you're just going to turn around, face away from the boss. That way you're not looking at him. The Immortal Guardians we want to bring down as quickly as possible. 10-second timer, don't pull early. Watch your feet, stay out of the clouds.
3, 2, 1.
The time to strike at the head of the beast will soon be upon us. Focus your anger and hatred on his minions.
I need to get closer.
Yes,
Stay on circle tight.
Show them no mercy. Give no pause to your
That's still
attacks.
recharging.
We're cutting through to this side. We're gonna stay here for a bit.
I can't cast that yet. That spell is on.
All the casters should be moving with circle.
Toto again. My guy.
I'm spawning way in the back behind range.
Watch yourself range on the left. Hurry.
Finish the low one.
Show them no mercy. Give no pause.
Katie, no!
Oh my god.
Oh, 7. Oh shit. Oh shit.
I think we're alright as long as it was just from that. Hopefully. Fucking first time I touched one.
Watch this collab right in front of us, range.
Get the one in the back. Finish the low one. How many more do we need? Pop personals here. Finish the low one.
She's at 50.
Alright. So we need 4 total. This is 3. I'll grab the one that just spawned. Watch the cloud. Finish the low one quickly. It's still really good. This one should be the last one that we need to kill. And then we're just cleaning up.
She's at 26, so I think you need 2.
Alright.
What the fuck hit you, Jen?
Watch the cloud here, melee.
Yo, you're
Spawning the one on the far side. Finish the low one quickly. Make sure melee are top before this goes off.
She's at 13.
Can still finish these off. Finish the
There
low
we
one.
go.
Alright.
Careful, melee.
Gotta interrupt those volleys.
Let's finish these off quickly.
I can't cast
Melee,
Group
be
1 and
careful.
2 are going in portals. 1 and 2 are going in
Crusher.
portals.
Range to Crusher. Circle.
Don't kill yourself on these. Heal everybody up. Healthstone if you need it. Melee are on Corruptors. Ranged are on Crushers. Group 1 is north side portals. Group 2 is south side portals. Do not miss your portal. Go in. Damage adds. Make sure you face away from the lunatic gazes while you're in the portals.
Soon. Get ready.
I can't do that yet.
There's a Crusher right next to a or I'm sorry, a Constrictor. Corruptor right next to a Crusher that I can't get at the moment. Fucking bugging out at this point.
Get away from Malady.
I'm constricted. Casters, you can pop CDs on these tentacles up here. You'll have them back up for the end of the fight.
Take Crush on the far side. Finish this Corruptor before we move to the Crusher.
Stay away from square.
They're open. Get in.
Alright, in your portals. Watch the timer for when you guys need to get out. Don't get greedy.
Don't face the skulls in here if you can.
Got 2 Constrictor tentacles up.
Brains open. We got 40 seconds.
Do you want me to lost down here?
No, we're gonna hold it.
We need more damage on this Crusher.
Yep,
Yeah,
finish
I'll
up
range
all
to be on
adds.
Crusher right now.
Crusher first.
20 seconds on the brain.
This Crusher should be dead before they come out of brain.
15, 14,
One
10.
Corruptor up as well.
Alright,
Move out.
Good job.
We got 3 Corruptors up.
Go kill the Corruptors now, Rain.
You guys' sanity looks good. Can you come help kill Corruptor tentacles before you go back down? Melee.
Once this Corruptor by the Crusher gets killed, all ranged on the Crusher.
Get ready for portals. They should be anytime.
Watch your sanity before you go in.
Alright, portals, go. Group 1 and 2. Jennifer should be going down as well.
I can't go in. I have 40 sanity. Somebody
Alright,
go in. for
somebody
me.
else go in. One of the DPS.
Target you.
Dying, Bone Giver, you guys have 28 sanity. Make sure you stand in a green beam. Alright, clean up all these ads. Again, if you have any CDs up, pop it.
I need to get closer.
Nice job. This is downtime. Get your sanity back if you need to.
I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't
Very nice cleanup there.
charging. That spell isn't
10
How's brain
seconds on
doing?
the brain. 9,
Alright,
What
make-
percent is
Move
the
out.
brain at?
5.
Get out,
Everybody out.
guys. Everybody out. Very nice.
It's a little over 50, maybe like 55.
Crusher here.
Get the Constrictor. Casters on the Crusher. Melee on Constrictors.
There's a Corruptor across from
Corruptors are fine for melee as well.
I'm obsessed with the pain I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout, and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are this is
Get a res on Chud if we can. One of the casters can go down since Chud's was down dead. That would be great.
Range finish off this Corruptor in the back. There's 2 Corruptors up right.
Don't face that skull. Brains open.
Watch
Have a lot of
beams.
time on this one. 30 seconds.
There's one more Corruptor way in the back.
20 seconds on brain. We'll have to do one more. 15 seconds.
Yeah, I think only 8 people went in there.
10 seconds.
This is downtime. Get your sanity
out.
back up to 100.
Everybody get out.
One more wave. We're still doing really, really good.
He's at 34 in there.
Alright, yeah, so it'll be phase 3 after these next portals.
If you're linked, run together.
I'm with you, Starko.
Watch your sanity, guys.
Much better eye control.
Groups go in.
Target you.
Dark Tidy, you have 20 sanity left.
Brains open.
Snoop has 28. When you guys come back up, please make sure to get in a green beam. Finish up all ads.
Alright, it's at 30. Alright, everybody out.
Finish up ads quickly.
Yeah, kill this corruptor quick.
Dark Tidy and Snoop get in a green beam. You
Alright,
guys are
Immortal
ready.
Guardian. AD just procced. Next Guardian's out. Get the Immortal Guardian down. Face away. Face
Move
away.
out.
Snoop, you got 20. Drift, you got 26 sanity. You guys want to get in green beams? Get this Immortal Guardian low.
We should lust.
Yeah, go ahead and lust.
Get ready to turn away.
Get it to 1%. You got to get them down to 1% before they'll go away.
Get the ads a little bit closer to the boss too.
Shadow Beacon should be coming out. Drag that one away. I don't know which one it is. Oh, it's the low one. It's the low one. Alright, hopefully it's gone. Kill the low one. Next one's out, so can't reach that one. Got it. Kill the low ones. 2 low ones. Finish both of them off as quickly as we can. Stay away from that crusher.
Turn.
Sorry, yeah, face away.
Watch your sanity, guys.
I'm having issues with threat on these at the moment.
If you are below 50,
Kill the low
sit in
ones.
green beam. Please do not get mind control.
Kill the low one.
Turn.
Skull has the beacon. Finish the low one. Okay. Pulled it out before it healed anybody.
He's at 23.
Get a res on Drift.
Turn. So a lot of beams going out there, boys.
Big damage on the boss. Never mind.
Finish the low one. Nice. Finish the low one. We should have some time here.
Shadows. Look away.
Pototo, you got... Okay, you were low sanity. You're good now. Drift's got 30 sanity. Whoop's got 48.
Turn.
Just keep dragging these in for cleave. We're at 13%. Just keep it up. Face away. Drift, you got 18 sanity. Go to a green beam around the edge of the room. Big
Shadow
green
beacon?
beam.
Turn.
Face away. Drift, you have 14 sanity. Okay, perfect. Finish the low ones. Keep going.
Turn.
We're at 4%.
And that's how it's fucking done, boys.
Well played, y'all.
Jesus fucking Christ. Alright.
Yay!
GG's, y'all. Well,
Yeah,
once again, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you guys for
Appreciate it.
coming.
You guys literally made my PTR dreams come true. I'm not lying.
Aww.
Thank you. I was
just
literally
killing Yogg.
Yeah, because I had seen every other boss and I was like, I need to see Yogg kill. I have to, like, just the fight itself. So to get a kill on this, badass.
Okay guys, that was the guide for Yogg-Saron. Thank you guys for watching, and I really hope that these guides helped you with your raid. I was definitely not comfortable with making them at the start, but hopefully they got a little better towards the end. Let me know what you guys think, and if they really helped you, maybe I can do some for next phase, and maybe I'll post some more in-depth hard mode specific guides. You can see all of our raids live at my Twitch. If you really want to support me, that's probably the best way to do it. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck in Ulduar, and good luck on all the juicy loots.